today we're going to be learning about figurative language. Ooh, it's exciting. Oh, let me just turn up the volume a little bit. Alright, so we're learning about figurative language. And right now, I want you to pause the video and answer these questions in your notes. So the first question is what do you already know about figurative language, and where is it usually seen? Where do you see figurative language in your everyday life? So I want you to pause the video, you know where that pause button is, and answer those questions in your notes, because I will be looking for them tomorrow in class. That's right. So I assume you paused it, and now we're on the next slide. Here's your figurative language lesson. So I asked you, what is figurative language? And what it is when you describe something by comparing it with something else. So I want you to, again, pause the video and copy this definition down in your notes, please. So I say I want to describe my hair, and I want to say that it's like super glossy and beautiful. So I could describe my hair by comparing it with something. So I could say, my hair is as beautiful as a lion's mane. So I'm comparing my hair with a lion's mane, which, you know, it's supposed to be something positive, but I understand, I can hear that it came out as something kind of weird. So I apologize. Alright, in this video, we're going to learn these words: a simile, a metaphor, and personification. I hope you're excited, because I am. Alright, we're going to start with simile. So a simile is a comparison of two things by using the words like or as. So here's an example: as tall as a giraffe. So you could say, my friend Tara is as tall as a giraffe. Now I'm comparing two things. I'm comparing Tara to the height of a giraffe. And I'm using the word as twice, in this case, to compare my friend to the height of a giraffe. So I'm basically saying she's super tall. Now, she's clearly not as tall as a giraffe. It's just a comparison. So some examples of similes include, the dog's bark was like a roaring lion. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I'm going to go back. I need you to copy down this word, and I want you to write down what it means and write down the example. So basically write down everything on this page. So you're going to have to pause it, write down everything on the page, and I'm going to keep going. So I also want you to write this down. Anything you see, for the most part, I need you to write it down. So this, write down in your notes examples of similes, and then I want you to write down these two examples. So the first one is the dog's bark, which ironically, I have a dog outside and he is barking, was like a roaring lion. Now on the page before this, I said you could use the words as or like. So I'm comparing a dog's bark with a roaring lion. So basically saying the dog's bark is very loud. And I can tell you the dog outside is very loud. Alright, the next example is the girl's hair was as soft as a spider's web. Now I know that spider's webs are very soft, and I'm trying to compare a spider's web with a girl's hair, and by telling you that it's as soft as a spider's web, I'm saying that her hair is very soft. So make sure you have both of those written. The next one is personification. Now the first part of that word is person, if you notice that. So that will help you remember this. So write down the word personification. Underneath it, I want you to write down what it means, and then underneath that, I want you to write down the example. So personification is giving human qualities to animals or to objects. So write that down. And then, for example, the stars winked at me. Now, obviously, stars cannot wink, but winking is a human quality that we have. So humans can wink, and so I'm comparing the star glistening to winking, which is what a person can do, like in the word personification. I'm comparing the two things. So the star is an object, in this case, it's not an animal, but I'm comparing the star's glistening to a winking attribute of a person. Make sure all this page is written down. some examples of personification. The wind howled in the night. So can wind howl? It really can't, but howling is something that people can actually do and go, ow! That was embarrassing. So I am comparing the sound of the wind to a howl. The other one is the flowers were begging for water. Make sure also you have all this written down. But can a flower actually beg? Not really, but people can beg. So in personification, people can beg. You can say, please, 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 please give me some water. But what this is comparing is the flowers needing water. It's comparing that to begging for water. So it's just saying the flowers need to be watered. So it's another way of saying that. Next is a metaphor. A metaphor, make sure you write this down, is a figure of speech in which things are compared by stating that one thing is another thing. So it's different from a simile because I'm saying that something is something. So for example, write down the example, the clouds are cotton balls in the sky. So I'm saying that the clouds are cotton balls. Not like cotton balls, but they are cotton balls. Now clearly clouds are not cotton balls, but it's a figure of speech and I'm comparing how soft the clouds are to how soft cotton balls are. Some examples of metaphors. Here's some examples. Write down these examples. You're going to have to pause the video. She was fairly certain life is a fashion show. So maybe this is comparing life to a fashion show, and she's saying that it is a fashion show, stating that maybe she enjoys observing what other people wear and the clothes that they wear, and she just really enjoys it as she would watching a fashion show. The second example is my bedroom is a disaster area. Now, is your bedroom actually a disaster area? Probably, not literally, but you are comparing a disaster area, maybe after a tornado or an earthquake, what it would look like to how dirty and messy your bedroom is. So, make sure you have those down. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for. You have to pause the video. Here's your assignment. I want you to take a moment to watch this video. I want you to watch it, but stop it at 4 seconds because you don't need the information past there. And what it is it's figurative language in Disney. So you guys should be excited because I was. So you're going to watch that. And then in your notes, I would like you to write down 2 examples of each from the video. So the video is going to show you some similes, metaphors, and personification. And in your notes, I want you to write down figurative language in Disney, and then underneath it, I need you to write down 2 examples that you saw in the video. So write down 2 similes, 2 metaphors, 2 personification. It's fairly simple, I promise. And here's an example of what I'm looking for. So you would write down the word simile, and then one of the similes in the video is from Aladdin, and it says, strong as 10 regular men dancing at sea. So that would be one example. So I basically gave you one. And then I want you to write down the second one. Another example. Then do the same thing for metaphor and personification from the video. Alright, so I want to see what you've learned now. I want you to answer the next 3 questions in your notebook. Question number 1, write down in your notes, question number 1. And then you're going to tell me if it's A, B, or C. Is this an example of a metaphor, simile, or personification? You are my sunshine. That is your figurative language. So tell me, is it a metaphor, simile, or personification? Number 2, write down question 2. And I want you to tell me, is this an example of a simile, personification, or a metaphor? And it says, Jake is as wise as an owl. You might have to go back in your notes to find the answers. But make sure you write question 2 and then tell me if it's A, B, or C. Question 3. Tell me if it's an example of a simile, metaphor, or personification. The flame of the candle danced in the dark. There's a big clue in there because the answer is in red. Tell me if it's A, B, or C. So tomorrow, you're going to be creating your own skits based on what we've learned today. I am super excited to watch all of you act. So I'm going to place you in small groups and you will work together to create a 3 to 5 minute play, and it's going to incorporate each form of figurative language that we learned today. So important note is you must use at least 3 of each figures of speech in your play. So you need 3 similes, 3 personifications, and 3 metaphors. And I promise I will explain more tomorrow. So a few ideas to get you started are setting ideas. So for your play, you could have it set in any of these places, anywhere you want. You just need 3 similes, 3 personification, and 3 metaphors. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, and I'll be checking your notes just to let you know. All right, guys, have a good night.